Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboys Nation, I hope you're sitting down, because today we have breaking news that has sent shockwaves through the entire Dallas Cowboys fan base. After a turbulent few years with high hopes but disappointing results, Mike McCarthy is officially out as head coach of the Cowboys. That's right. America's team has decided to move on, and it has fans buzzing with excitement, confusion, and yes, even frustration. There's a lot to unpack here. What went wrong with McCarthy's leadership? Why now? And what does this mean for the future of the Dallas Cowboys? Stick with me as we break down all the details, the fan reactions, and what might be next for one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. First, let's talk about McCarthy's tenure with the Cowboys. Hired in 2020 after the Cowboys fired longtime coach Jason Garrett, McCarthy arrived with an impressive resume. A Super Bowl winning coach with the Green Bay Packers, McCarthy was expected to bring stability and a winning culture to Dallas, a team that had been stuck in mediocrity for nearly 2 decades. But let's be honest, things didn't quite go according to plan. Sure, McCarthy's first season wasn't without its challenges, with Dak Prescott suffering a season-ending injury and a defense that seemed allergic to stopping the run. But even with all those obstacles, there was still a sense of optimism. Fast forward to 2021, and the Cowboys won the NFC East, but their playoff run ended in heartbreaking fashion against the San Francisco 49ers. Last season, we saw more of the same, tantalizing regular season success, followed by another early playoff exit, this time to the Los Angeles Rams. What exactly went wrong? Well, the biggest issue was arguably McCarthy's inability to adapt in high-pressure situations. Time and time again, we saw the Cowboys fall short of their potential in the postseason. Whether it was questionable play calling, lackluster adjustments, or a failure to capitalize on opportunities, McCarthy's inability to lead the team to the next level became an undeniable talking point. His critics became louder, especially as the team's talent seemed to outpace their results. Even with an elite roster, one that included stars like Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons, the Cowboys couldn't get over the hump. It's clear that Jerry Jones, the ever-ambitious owner of the Cowboys, wasn't satisfied with just being competitive in the regular season. Jerry wants a championship, and he's been vocal about it. As the season ended in yet another early playoff exit, the pressure on McCarthy to deliver a Super Bowl ring reached its boiling point. Now, let's talk about the reaction from the fans. And let me tell you, Cowboys fans have not been shy about their feelings on McCarthy. Some are absolutely thrilled with the decision. I've seen Twitter explode with fans cheering McCarthy's firing, expressing excitement that the team can finally move forward with a new vision. One tweet I saw simply said, "McCarthy was holding this team back for too long. It's time for a fresh start." That sentiment has been echoed by many across social media. For these fans, McCarthy's departure represents a new beginning. A chance to bring in someone who can actually take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. After all, we've seen plenty of head coaches leave the Cowboys without that elusive championship. And these fans are tired of seeing the same cycle year after year. But as with any major decision, not everyone is on board. In fact, there's a vocal group of fans who are skeptical about the move. I've seen posts that say, "We've been through this before. Another coach fired, another season wasted. When will it end?" And you can understand their frustration. The Cowboys have had an unstable coaching carousel over the years, and some fans are worried that the team is never going to find long-term success as long as they keep changing directions. There are plenty of people out there who feel like the problem isn't the head coach, but rather the culture within the organization. They believe that the franchise itself is cursed, doomed to underachieve no matter who's in charge. And those fans have a point. After all, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since the 1995 season, and every year they seem to come up short. So while some are excited for a fresh start, others are questioning if this move will actually bring the desired results. As the news broke about McCarthy's departure, one question immediately surfaced. What's next for the Dallas Cowboys? This is the million-dollar question. With a coaching vacancy on the table, many are wondering who Jerry Jones and the front office will turn to in order to lead this team back to glory. There's no shortage of potential candidates, each bringing their own strengths and potential challenges. Let's take a look at some of the leading names being thrown around. First, there's Dan Quinn, the current defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Quinn has been instrumental in turning the Cowboys' defense into one of the most feared units in the NFL. With stars like Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, the defense has become a powerhouse, and Quinn's leadership has been a big reason for that. Before coming to Dallas, Quinn was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, where he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. So, he has head coaching experience, which is something many fans are looking for. The question is, would he be a good fit for a team that needs to make a deep playoff run? Quinn's defensive background could be both a blessing and a curse. While his defense has been fantastic, there's the question of whether he can bring the offensive innovation and leadership that the Cowboys need to finally take the next step. Then there's Kellen Moore, the team's offensive coordinator. Moore is a young dynamic coach who has helped develop a potent offense in Dallas. Under his watch, the Cowboys have seen impressive offensive output, and he's been instrumental in Dak Prescott's development. The question surrounding Moore is whether he's ready to take the reins as head coach. His age and relative inexperience might be a concern for some, but Moore has definitely shown promise as an offensive mind. Could he be the one to finally develop a balanced team capable of winning a Super Bowl? If Jerry Jones wants to keep things within the family and build on the current system, Moore could be the perfect choice. However, there's one name that keeps coming up in discussions, and that name is Sean Payton. Payton, the former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, has been one of the most successful and respected coaches in the NFL over the past 2 decades. With a Super Bowl victory and countless playoff appearances, Payton's resume speaks for itself. The question is whether Payton would be interested in coming to Dallas. Would he be willing to leave the Saints' shadow for the bright lights of Jerry World? If he were to join the Cowboys, Payton would bring a high-powered offense and an aggressive, smart leadership style that many feel could be just what the Cowboys need to finally get over the hump. But here's the issue. Payton is a big-name coach, and with big-name coaches comes big expectations and an equally big price tag. Would Jerry Jones be willing to pay what it takes to lure Payton away from New Orleans, or would he decide to go with a younger, less expensive option? No matter who the next head coach is, one thing is clear. The Cowboys need to make this hire count. This team has too much talent to waste another season under mediocre leadership. Dak Prescott is in his prime. Micah Parsons is a future superstar, and the offense is loaded with weapons. But none of that matters if the right coaching staff isn't in place to put everything together. The pressure is on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office to make a decision that can finally bring this team back to the promised land. So, what does all of this mean for the players? Dak Prescott has been one of McCarthy's most vocal supporters, but with McCarthy out, will Dak thrive under a new system? We know Dak is a leader, but does he need a coach who will challenge him more and push him to his limits? Micah Parsons has already emerged as one of the most dominant defenders in the league, but will the new coaching staff maximize his potential? Parsons is the kind of player who could lead this team for the next decade, and it's crucial that the new head coach knows how to use him effectively. Meanwhile, Ezekiel Elliott, who's been with the Cowboys since 2016, might be on the outs if the new coach decides to take the team in a different direction. Zeke's production has waned over the years, and with the emergence of Tony Pollard, the future of the Cowboys' backfield might look very different moving forward. As we stand at this crossroads, one thing is certain. Change is coming to Dallas. The McCarthy era has ended, but the question is, what will the next chapter look like? Will the Cowboys finally fulfill their promise, or will they continue to fall short? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure. Cowboys Nation is ready for whatever comes next. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited about the change? Who do you want to see as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe for all the latest updates on America's team. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, stay strong, stay passionate, and always believe in the star.